first time ever.
Warning active terror.
We are ready to engage with a two-state solution.
Some of his most senior cabinet members.
Advise us what our new economic is.
Imagine a small Pakistan-Saudi treaty that quietly rewrites the rules of power in West Asia and forces India to rethink its whole security playbook. Why the Saudi-Pakistan Defence Pact matters and what India must watch. This is important. Saudi Arabia and Pakistan just signed a defence pact that says an attack on one will be treated as an attack on both. On paper, it reads like a promise. In practice, it could change how countries think about war, peace, and even nuke risk in the region. Today, I will explain why this is more than just a headline, what extended deterrence actually means, and crucially, what it means for India. Now, the news simply told on September 17th, 2025, Pakistan and Saudi Arabia signed a mutual defense agreement. They say they will treat aggression against one as aggressions against both. Now, the two countries framed it as strengthening long-standing friendship and security cooperation. But foreign policy is rarely only words. This pact could have knock-on effects across West Asia, Central Asia, and South Asia. Now, what is extended deterrence? Extended deterrence is when a state promises to deter attacks not only on itself but on partner or ally too. In Cold War terms, the United States told Europe, "We will defend you, even with our nuclear forces if needed." Now, that promise keeps some states from building their own big arsenals and helps shape regional power balances. The Saudi-Pakistan Pact looks like a new form of extended deterrence, but one based on a regional power, Pakistan, that already has nukes. Now, why is this novel? Why is this different? Typically, extended deterrence is delivered by a nuclear superpower. Think US and NATO. Here, a regional power with nuclear arms, Pakistan, promises mutual defense with a wealthy, influential Gulf state, Saudi Arabia, that creates a precedent. A state without its own nuclear weapon may be shielded by another regional nuclear power rather than by a global superpower. That changes the patterns of deterrence in ways we haven't seen at scale before. Now, let's see what are the real motives behind this pact. 4 quick reasons. Let's break down why both sides might want this. First, Saudi security anxiety. Saudi leaders feel vulnerable after recent regional shocks and want stronger partners. Second, Pakistan's strategic relevance. Pakistan gains prestige, political backing, and economic ties with Riyadh. Third, messaging to rivals. The pact signals to Iran, Israel, or others that Saudi Arabia has added a powerful friend. Fourth, domestic politics and economics. Saudi financial supports help Pakistan. The pact binds them economically and militarily. These motives mix security with politics and money. Now, what's a sticky problem? The nuclear signaling and credibility. But there's a tricky technical issue. For deterrence to work, an adversary must believe you will act. If Pakistan promises to step in for Saudi Arabia, how far will it go? Will it actually risk escalation with a rival state, possibly dragging in nuclear threats? Alternatively, could Saudi Arabia effectively gain a nuclear shield without the formal transfer of weapons, purely through political commitment, right? Now, these uncertainties make the pact both powerful and dangerously ambiguous. We worry this could increase miscalculation risks. Now, what are the regional reactions and the global ripple? The pact has already drawn attention. Many countries will watch closely. Iran will see this as a threat. Gulf neighbors will reassess alliances. Western powers will consider whether their own influence is shifting. And for countries that rely on United States guarantees, seeing Saudi seek a regional nuclear link may create doubts about long term stability and who will really guarantee security. Now, let's understand how this affects India. There are several clear effects. First, strategic balancing and diplomacy. India has deepened ties with Saudi Arabia in recent years. Energy, trade, defense. This pact could force New Delhi to re engage diplomatically with Riyadh to reaffirm India's interests and sensitivities. India has already publicly asked that its concerns be respected. Second, nuclear signaling and escalation risk. A Saudi safety net backed by Pakistan's nuclear posture increases regional nuclear complexity. Any escalation involving Pakistan could now carry wider regional stakes, and India remains the primary military rival of Pakistan. So, New Delhi must factor in new strategic calculations. Third, proxy and political dynamics. If Saudi and Pakistan coordinate more closely, Pakistan may feel emboldened in their regional posture. That could complicate crisis management between India and Pakistan, especially after any future incidents. Fourth, economic and energy implications. India imports large volumes of oil from Saudi. A security shift that impacts Saudi stability or priorities could affect energy markets and supply security for India. Fifth, diplomatic leverage and multi alignment. India may deepen partnerships with other Gulf states and with extra regional powers to hedge. Example, stronger engagement with United States, UAE, or even Russia to preserve strategic autonomy. So, what India should do? Quiet diplomacy with Riyadh, reiterate the economic and strategic partnership while reminding Riyadh of Indian security concerns. Calibrate defense readiness, not alarm. Strengthen surveillance, contingency planning, and crisis channel with Pakistan to reduce miscalculation. Broaden regional partnerships, deepen ties with UAE, Qatar, and other Gulf states to diversify diplomatic capital, participate in de escalation architecture, push for regional crisis management mechanisms, maybe under broader Gulf South Asia frameworks. These steps keep India engaged without overreacting. Now, any explicit transfer of nuclear assets, basing rights that allow foreign deployment or public statements indicating operational military integration. If Riyadh and Islamabad move from a declaratory pact to operational military integration, the security geometry will change dramatically and quickly. For now, the pact is largely declaratory, but declarations can become dangerous if misread. What's the takeaway? Why ordinary people should care? Why should we care? Because shifts in deterrence change the price of war and peace. They influence oil prices, trade, and even regional stability, all of which affect lives, jobs, and inflation at home. A new model of extended deterrence could make conflicts bigger and harder to contain. That matters for people in India and beyond. So, the Saudi Pakistan Pact is more than a photo op, it's a precedent. It changes deterrence, thinking in a multipolar region. India must be alert, diplomatic, and strategic. If you find this useful, do like, share,